Good morning, traders. Welcome to Elite Currency. In this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar, my name is Chris. And before we take a look at the charts, be aware of our ECS live service where we take a look at live setups, live webinars, and of course, live analysis, waves, MTF setups, etc. You can check it all out at elitecurrency.com/ECS live trading. All right, so the euro dollar moved up a lot yesterday with the FOMC statement and basically price and interest rate decision price. Very bullish at this moment. However, if you look at the daily candle, I think that the close is okay-ish, but there is a little bit of a wick. It's not the most dominant bullish candle I've seen ever. I think it's okay. It did obviously break very clearly through this resistance line of this downtrend channel, and that's what we're waiting for. If we get a good bullish candle, I was saying, then there could be a follow-through. This is a pretty decent one, so I think, yes, it's fair enough to say to keep an eye on a follow-through to the upside and maybe get one more push up to that 115, which I still think will be a resistance zone for a bigger correction to the downside. Now, with that said, there is a lot of news coming up. We have a pound interest rate and also EU summit today. Obviously, those things are going to impact the euro and pound side of the market. So a lot of question marks from this perspective, and that's going to kind of interrupt our technical and wave trading. So you got to be careful of that. And although technically speaking, I think it's an okay candle and there's a decent chance of a follow through to the upside because of that and because of this bullish break. These fundamental news basically today could change that plan. So be very careful today, and maybe even better just to not trade and wait for those things to happen, then take a look at the market again, for instance. It depends on your risk appetite. In any case, we do have a break, and I do think that the bullish kind of expectation that we had has been confirmed. We were saying that this is ABC, this is an ABC, and we're looking now for an ABC to the upside. Just that this wave A is, from a technical point of view, I think not yet finished, although we hit some resistance levels here. I think one more push higher is still in the cards and still more likely. It also a little bit depends on how fast this price action retraces. It should be a correction, and that is logical. But if it is a mild correction, it should bounce here to 38, which it hasn't done yet, or at the 50 fib if it is a wave 4. So if price breaks below 113.96, then it might not be that bullish continuation as we expect. So that's a pretty key level from a technical point of view. If this is an ABC correction and a wave 4, this being a wave 3, wave 1, 2 right here like this, then 113.96 plus or minus should hold, and we should see a bounce for wave 5 up to 115 as a target. That's technically what I would expect once again, but the news today is pretty major. Yesterday we had pretty strong news, but today too. So we'll have to see if the news kind of sends this into a different direction. If we get bearish price action that falls specifically below the 61.8 fib, then the bullishness is off the table for the moment. That's too much that's too strong. That's too much bearish momentum at the moment. And in that case, we got to be really careful. And, maybe in that case, the wave 1 has been finished here. If we break through the 61.8 fib, specifically through the 78.6 fib, then in that case, maybe wave 1 is finished and we're looking at a bigger ABC correction here for wave 2 before we move to the upside. Now, pound dollar, a lot of news at this moment. Of course, with the Brexit, and today we'll see how the EU responds to the short extension that May is proposing with regard to the Brexit to end of June, I believe. And so far, prices stayed in this channel, which looks like a bull flag. But if it is a bull flag, it will break to the upside. It hasn't done that yet, so we need confirmation of that. The breakout point would be the top of this 21 EMA and the top of this channel. A break above that could confirm that this was a wave 4, and up we go for wave 5, aiming for 134/135. All right, but so far that hasn't happened. Obviously, if it breaks through this support level, the bottom of the channel, and also the long-term moving average, then something else might be going on, and we might see some downside pressure towards 130.50 perhaps. Let's put a fib from here to here, and maybe the 78.6 fib at around 130.85, then 130.50, then 130 could be the zones to think about like this as it perhaps moves lower. And in that case, we'll be in a downtrend. It's then breaking below this it's breaking below the bottom of this downtrend channel, right? The support extending. That should be blue, sorry. Extending the channel actually lower. and we might be starting a downtrend in that case. Of course, we got to be careful though, because there is a bigger support trend line right here. So once again, 78.6 fib could be very important to keep an eye on as well. It is a rising wedge, all right, but doesn't mean that the rising wedge cannot continue. So got to be careful. It is, if it breaks through the 61.8 fib, bearish, and there could be some downside pressure. But overall, if you look at the daily chart, it is not yet fully in a downtrend. So only if it breaks below probably this bottom right here, this zone at 130, could we say that the rising wedge is broken and that there is a full-fledged downtrend on the pound dollar. Otherwise, there could be maybe some downside pressure on the 4-hour chart, but not a full-scale downtrend as yet when we look at this time frame. Okay, so be aware of that. So yes, some downside pressure possible, but it really needs to break below 130 before we see a stronger downtrend in play. Otherwise, any of these fibs, the 61, 78, 88, could still be bouncing spots for a continuation, one more push higher within this rising wedge. All right, that's about it for today. Be careful of the news. There is a lot of news coming out today, so makes it quite difficult once again for technical analysis. But we'll look at the market again tomorrow. I'll upload a video, but for the FXDD YouTube channel, so check that out. And otherwise, see you very soon. Good trading. Cheers.